Germany's still cleaning up after the worst flooding in decades left at least 160 people dead and hundreds more missing. Residents in some towns have been warned they might not have access to clean drinking water for weeks or even months. Tanja Knopp is the head of regional crisis management for Germany's Red Cross and joins me now from Witten in Germany. Now, Tanja, what hopes are there of finding alive those still missing?
I think it's not very probable to find living people under all these mud and rubble masses, but I hope some missing ones haven't so far been able to reach their relatives, and in reality they are in a safe place.
Which have been the most affected areas, and why do you think they've been hit so hard by the deadly floods?
The most affected areas are in Rhineland-Palatinate, also the federal state Rhineland-Palatinate, the region around Ahrweiler, and in North Rhine-Westphalia, it's the Eifel region around Bad Münstereifel and Erftstadt, as well as Wuppertal. The rain there came down very fast and very continuous, and the water came up not only because of the rivers, but the sewers hadn't enough capacity, and so the drains and toilets came up, and so the water came from outside the houses and from inside the houses, and everything went very, very fast.
What are the priorities now for emergency and aid crews?
At the moment, still people are in the emergency shelters, and we have to give food to them. And of course, the phase of reconstruction of cleaning has started, and that's a huge task with a lot of challenges. We still have problems with electricity, with drinking water, with telephone, and things like that. And that are all the problems we have to solve hand in hand.
And how will you deal with the challenges in cleaning up? How long will it take for recovery to take place? Can you describe for us what the scene is like? The destruction is really, really enormous and very serious. And what's very good is that everything works hand in hand, that there are a lot of volunteers from the organizations, of course, as well as paid staff, but also volunteers from everywhere, neighbors, and everyone does its best. And so it works hand in hand, and firms give support, and we bring all these things together and try to do it very fast. But I'm sure it will need not only weeks, but months and perhaps years to rebuild everything as it was before. We're looking at some images now, really devastating scenes there. What warnings did residents receive before their homes were inundated and destroyed?
In Germany, we have different apps. As we have a modular alarm system, and one part are these apps. But of course, you have to have this app on your mobile phone to get the information. And I think a lot of people think, oh, in Germany, we live in such a safe place and all these catastrophes happen everywhere, but they can't happen to me. And I think we must focus more on preparation, every one of us, not only the state, but every citizen, every one of us must think about this. What will I do? How can I be warned? And go with open eyes and open ears to every day. And we have to bring this in schools. We have to teach this already to the children, that also in Germany such things can happen, as we see, very fast, and they will happen, I think, because of the natural changements more often and much heavier than we have seen before.
And what's the government said? Because there's been criticism of the flood alert system. How have officials responded to this?
At the moment, I think everyone thinks about what can we do better next time. Have we done everything? But I think this is
an element of discussion we must go in next. At the moment, we have to focus on reconstruction and rebuilding, but of course, together with all organizations and above all, of course, the government, we have to think about what can we do next time better.
And Tanja, how many are still in evacuation centres, and will most of them have homes to go back to?
Oh, that's a difficult question. At the moment, we have got, especially in Rhineland-Palatinate, a lot of emergency shelters with a lot of people in. And I think the people who are still there, often their houses are very destroyed, and it is not sure if they can go back to their house. I think a lot of them have to go to another kind of shelter, I think a hotel or to friends. And these are problems that we must solve next.
Well, just finally, are residents still in any danger, even though the rain has eased?
At the moment, the situation is quite serious, but it is relaxing. Fortunately, the rain has stopped. For next week, they say there will be perhaps rain again. So I think we must be very aware what is happening next. But at the moment, the situation is relaxing. The dams are no longer threatening to break. And that's something we are really happy that this is the situation at the moment. But I think we must be aware.
Tanja, thanks so much for giving us a sense of what it's really like there. Tanja Knopp there in Germany.